All right. Welcome, everyone. We'll give folks a couple minutes to trickle in. Thank you for everyone who was so punctual. I saw we had a lot of people in our waiting room even before we started, which is fantastic. So welcome. I'm Angela, and I'm delighted to be joined by Dr. Neithardt with our fantastic partner in Delaware, the Delaware Institute of Reproductive Medicine. Hi, Dr. Neithardt. How are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm so happy to be here with everyone.
Same. So we'll give folks a couple minutes to come in. In the meantime, I've started the recording. I'm going to pull up our presentation for today's discussions so everyone can follow along more easily. Can everyone see that okay? Um, all right, great. So looks like we have a lot of people who are here and punctual, so we'll get going, but I'll just take a few minutes to introduce things so that people have time to get settled. We have a short, information-packed 30 minutes with you, so thanks for taking time during your lunch break. Couple housekeeping matters before we dive in. Everyone's automatically on mute. You can chat us your questions, so you should be able to see at the bottom of your Zoom the chat box. You can type in any questions. We'll try to take those as we go, and we'll also have ample time for Q&A at the end as well. And we have a special offer for everyone who attends the webinar today that I will be announcing at the end too. So with that, I will introduce myself and Dr. Neithardt, and then I'll pass it over to you to tell us a little bit more about DIRM. First, to introduce myself, I'm Angela. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO of Sunfish. Sunfish is a company that helps people afford and navigate IVF and assisted reproduction. And I started this company because I've been in this world for many, many years. I used to be a director at the largest surrogacy and egg donation agency and worked with so many hundreds of intended parents who were really struggling to afford and navigate their journey. And I just felt like I didn't have any good solutions for my patients on the financial and logistical side of things. So we started Sunfish a few years ago. We only work with very select clinics, really best in class clinics around the country. We've helped hundreds of people go through their journeys. And I'll tell you a little bit more about our special program at DIRM in a moment. And then let me pass the mic over to Dr. Neithardt. We're delighted to have her here. She has 15 years of experience in family building and is really a world-class leader in reproductive endocrinology. So she has her medical degree from Georgetown. She did her RE, her reproductive endocrinology fellowship at the National Institute of Health, has received numerous recognitions throughout her career, and actually was previously a teacher at Northwestern's gynecology division. And both of us are actually members of the American Society for Reproductive Medicine. She works at a really incredible clinic in Delaware. Like I mentioned, Sunfish only selects really top class clinics to partner with. So I'm excited to pass it over to you, Dr. Neithardt, and I'd love for you to tell us a little bit more about yourself and, in your view, what makes DIRM so special.
Great, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Angela, for that lovely introduction, and I'm really happy to be here today. As she mentioned, I've been a reproductive endocrinologist on 20 years now, so I'm really dating myself, and I've been in the Delaware and Pennsylvania area for about 15 years. I think at Delaware Institute for Reproductive Medicine, or DIRM, really our philosophy is to try to give each and every patient personalized care with your physician directing your care, opportunities to interact and see your physician as much as possible, so you really feel that you're getting that individualized care that is so important when you're undergoing such a stressful journey. As far as scheduling, we offer flexibility. The people have different preferences or different things that work with your schedule. So we offer in-person meetings and consultations, or we can do it virtually. So really whatever can work best for your schedule. We try to offer as many competitive packages as possible. And what we're going to be talking about today is especially our IVF Success program that's with Sunfish. exciting news, in this past year, we opened up a brand new facility in Newark, Delaware on Churchman's Road. It has been built from the ground up and has a state-of-the-art embryology lab and is a beautiful setting to practice in.
Great. Well, that's a wonderful introduction. I know our team was recently out visiting your location, and I can attest it really is a beautiful new facility. So can you just give our listeners, I know many people may be familiar with the IVF process, but others joining may be considering for the first time if IVF's right for them and what it entails. Can you just give us a 1-minute overview of the process?
Sure, absolutely. And the pictures you're seeing there now is our new facility. Just to mention that, the outside of the building and a picture of the embryology lab, which we rarely get to see in person. So it's a beautiful picture. So IVF stands for in vitro fertilization. And last time I saw it counted, there have been over 8 million babies born worldwide from IVF. And its first IVF baby was born in 1978, and the first one in the US was in 1981. So it's a technology that's been around a long time, and over the decades has really improved in safety as well as outcomes. In vitro fertilization, very briefly, the concept is we stimulate the ovaries to produce multiple eggs, take the eggs out, combine it with sperm in a laboratory, allow embryos to grow, and select the embryo to put back inside the uterus. So by doing this, it bypasses multiple steps that have to happen for pregnancy to occur. So it's associated with much higher pregnancy and live birth rates than other forms of fertility treatments. IVF was initially invented or came about to treat women who had blocked fallopian tubes. But over the years, as the success with IVF has increased, the indications to utilize IVF have also increased. And because of the fact that it does have much higher pregnancy and live birth rates, there are couples who choose to move to IVF maybe a little bit more quickly in the process than they would have in the past. I think, as far as when to consider IVF, there are indications, or there are couples who would benefit going straight to IVF, and those are instances where the fallopian tubes are blocked, or there's very, very low number of sperm, or in cases in women who are reproductively older. We know our window to conceive and have a live birth closes rapidly as we reproductively age, and those are couples who may want to consider moving to IVF a little more quickly. But really, it's open to any couple at any stage for family building options. Also, single individuals, couples of the same sex who need to build their family using an egg donor or a sperm donor or a gestational carrier. So there's really is not a limit. We also see individuals who are trying to freeze eggs for fertility preservation, whether it's for a medical indication or because delaying actually conceiving. And I think for any couple, no matter what, or individual, no matter what your situation is, your first step to get started is always a consultation with a reproductive endocrinologist to talk about your individual circumstances and come up with a plan that makes sense for you.
Fantastic. That's a really helpful overview. I'm sure
Makes
we'll get into a few more questions. Anything else you want to add before we move forward?
I don't think so.
I think that was really helpful. So I know it's a complicated process, and I will say, if you're considering moving forward, both our team and the DIRM team are really wonderful at answering further questions about your unique situations. So
It could be hard to summarize in a couple of minutes. It
Yeah.
certainly has many different aspects to it.
Absolutely. Well, we'll dive into more questions at the end, as I'm sure people will have a lot more questions about the process, but let's shift gears a little bit to talk about the cost and logistics, because that's really where Sunfish comes in as a partner with this new joint program, the IVF Success Program. So we talked a little bit about the medical side of things. We also know IVF can be challenging financially, logistically. There's a lot of different steps. It's hard to predict the cost because there's a lot of different components. And it's obviously emotionally taxing. I've gone through this process myself, as has many on our team, and of course have worked with many hundreds of patients. in my prior role. So very familiar with the challenges here. And that's really why we started this program in collaboration with the Delaware Institute of Reproductive Medicine. So these are some folks from some faces from the Sunfish team. And we started the IVF Success Program to offer you a single all-inclusive package for your IVF journey. It's exclusive to the Delaware Institute of Reproductive Medicine. It includes all of the components that would happen throughout your cycle and even a customized partial refund if you're not successful on the first cycle. We also provide a lot of guidance and support throughout the process, from things like conquering your IVF anxieties to preparing for your egg retrieval, like what you should pack on the day of. We'll be there every step of the way to support all of the logistics. And so our IVF Success Program allows you to protect your journey before you start. We offer discounts, support, and guidance for each step of the way. So the main things that we offer at DIRM are a single guaranteed price package, that all-inclusive package, a partial refund that we mentioned, it's customized for every patient, discounts along the way. We offer unlimited transfers. So once you do your retrieval, unlimited transfers are included. We also have the lowest price guarantee on medication and financing options if you need to finance the process, and guides to support you throughout the way. So every patient's package is going to be customized to you. Once you can either reach out to us first or reach out to DIRM first, but we'll coordinate very closely with the team at the Delaware Institute of Reproductive Medicine to understand every step of the process that's been recommended for you based on your unique biology, and create several custom packages for you to choose from. Again, all of our packages are all inclusive, so everything from the retrieval, embryo creation, all of the steps associated with that, monitoring, and then from all the embryos you get from that retrieval, you would transfer them typically one at a time to try to achieve pregnancy. And we cover unlimited transfers from that retrieval during our program. There's a lot of customization that can be added. For example, even things like adding an egg donor or a sperm donor or a second retrieval, or whatever your doctor thinks you need and you think you need in this package, it would be customized for you specifically. I have a couple more slides on this, but let me just pause there and check if we had any questions. So feel free to chat us any questions if anything comes up as we go through this. Okay. And then I'll go through the rest of the questions at the end. So let's go through the final details here. Why is it helpful to have this kind of all-inclusive package with a refund? Well, we at Sunfish, and I know your team at DIRM, are going to be hoping and crossing our fingers that you get pregnant on the very first try. But when we look at data, we do see that it takes many people several tries, several cycles to actually achieve pregnancy. And I raise that just because I think as you're financially planning and planning on timelines, it's helpful to kind of keep numbers in mind and know what to plan for. And specifically, if you are able to buy these all-inclusive packages with cash, that's wonderful. A lot of people also need to take out a loan, and we support with that too. So we'll help with everything there. For me personally, for example, I've gone through multiple cycles to get sufficient embryos for in my own experience, and that's very common. So we offer these all-inclusive packages, and basically if you don't get pregnant on the very first cycle, you will get a refund back as part of this package so that you can try again. And we certainly see people getting pregnant on the first cycle, but we just like to work with you so that you have that financial plan in place to achieve your dream of building a family. Dr. Neithardt, anything you want to add so far?
Oh, I think it's a really good summary. And I think, while we all want everyone to conceive with the very first embryo transfer, we know that for the majority of people, that may not be the case. And a fertility journey is not always straight. There's lots of ups and downs and turns that can be hard to predict. And, having the financial aspect added in there is another burden that really we're trying to help mitigate that stress a little bit.
Exactly. Just really having a plan in place, being able to plan for the cost, and having that backup plan with that partial refund if things aren't successful can really go a long way so that we can get you there on the fastest possible timeline to building your family. Okay, so just a couple more details about the program. So the IVF Success Program, again, it's unique and exclusive to the Delaware Institute of Reproductive Medicine in the area, and there's a few main steps to this program. Just like going through normal IVF, you would enroll with Sunfish. We'd coordinate with your clinic, and then you would go through the main steps of IVF, which is retrieving your eggs, creating embryos. So those eggs would be fertilized. You'd see how many healthy embryos you have, and then you would do those transfers one at a time. So with each embryo, you'd go back, transfer them into the uterus, and wait a couple weeks to see if pregnancy is achieved. So that whole process is one cycle. And then you would be monitored by DIRM, by your reproductive endocrinologist, until you graduate to your OBGYN, which is around the end of the first trimester. So the IVF Success Program is going to protect you on all of these steps. It's an all-inclusive package. We include all of these steps plus unlimited transfers from that cycle during the program. And if at any point you're not successful during this process, you would qualify for the partial refund and you're able to re-enroll and try again. So pretty straightforward. Once you enroll, we're helping with all the logistics, taking care of you. And then throughout the process, we'll be providing you with guides and content to really help you navigate the process logistically and hopefully optimize your chance of success. So things like, what should you eat? Can you go in a hot tub? All those questions that often come up. We have medically vetted guides just to kind of sit alongside your medical team at DIRM. All right, so how can you find out about this program? This is the website that we emailed out to everyone, I think, earlier today. It's the Delaware Institute for Reproductive Medicine's IVF Success Program, powered by Sunfish. This is the URL. We'll email it again after the webinar, or you can jot it down now. And you simply click on Connect with Us, fill out your name and contact info, and our team will be in touch to really hold your hand alongside your clinic, make sure all your questions are answered, and get you ready to go forward with your cycle. All right, so we've been so delighted to launch this partnership with the DIRM team. It's been really wonderful to be a part of these journeys and to be a part of such a wonderful clinic. These are a couple stories from our members who achieved pregnancy and achieved their dream of parenthood by going through this program. So I really wish there had been something like this when I went through IVF, and we're really excited to be able to offer this in such an incredible clinic. So do you want to just say a few more words about your incredible team, Dr. Neithardt?
Yeah, so you can see the picture here of our reproductive endocrinologist, Dr. Jeff Russell, who founded the practice. I'm going to not remember the exact year, but over 30 years ago. And then we have Dr. George Kowaleski, Dr. Amelia Bachman, and myself, who have all been reproductive endocrinologists for quite some time. So you have a very experienced team leading you, but I don't have pictures of everybody in the office. But, you know, going beyond that, we work with wonderful physicians assistants and nurse practitioners, registered nurses, medical assistants, financial navigators, administrative assistants. There's a whole team to help you through this process. It definitely is not something that one individual could do on their own. It takes all of us to make this work.
Absolutely. And we've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of the extended team. Everyone there is incredible, and I know will give really, really personal support. There's also these different locations. So we mentioned the new facility, and you can see the different locations here on the bottom right. All right, so I'm going to open it up for the few questions that have come through, but before we wrap up, I just wanted to let everyone know, as a special holiday gift for the Sunfish IVF Success Program, we're actually offering a $500 discount for anyone who attended and enrolls, basically signs a contract by January 15th. We never want to rush anyone. This is a really, really big decision, but we do just like to offer these holiday gifts for everyone who took the time to attend. So definitely reach out to either organization if you're interested. These are the phone numbers for DIRM and Sunfish. For Sunfish, you can actually text us if that's easier. This is our email, our social media, Instagrams. You can follow both of us and our websites. And again, we'll send out the link to that page I just showed you with the contact us button. So with that, let me open up for questions. Thank you everyone who's been chatting them in. Really, really wonderful. Okay, so let's see. I got a couple questions for both of us. First one to you, Dr. Neithardt. Let's say, when is the right time to reach out to Sunfish if you're considering IVF and interested in the IVF Success Program? What would you say?
So I would say as early as possible, because there's just like planning for the medical aspect of things. I think the financial planning and gathering that information as early in your journey as possible is the best thing to do.
I 100% agree. And there's so much that we can do to work with you to ensure that your package has everything you need to answer questions, to get you ready to go. So the sooner the better. You can even reach out to Sunfish before you've had your first consultation. Okay, next question. Is there an age restriction on the refund option? No, anyone can enroll in our program. The refund is a partial refund, so that's customized to each patient based on numerous factors, but there's no age restriction. Anyone can enroll, and like I mentioned, if you're using donor eggs or donor sperm, that's fine as well. Okay, is there a specific criteria to enroll besides being a DIRM patient? No, anyone can enroll. We have a lot of flexibility into what's included in the package. Like I said, if you need a double retrieval, for example, we can include that. So everyone can enroll as long as you're doing your cycle with the Delaware Institute of Reproductive Medicine. Okay, and then someone asked about pricing. So pricing is going to depend on your unique treatment plan. So if you are interested in pricing, definitely reach out to us. We can go over some example packages, but we're going to be working with your medical team to just see exactly what's recommended for you. So your package would be unique to you. Okay, how would that factor if I have frozen eggs already? So currently the IVF Success Program is for people who are going through IVF, like starting with the retrieval, maybe multiple retrievals, and then trying to get pregnant. So if you already have frozen eggs, you would just be doing a transfer only package, which is separate. I don't know if you'd like to add anything to that, Dr. Neithardt.
Yeah, and I guess it would be, if they're frozen eggs, I guess that package would include thawing the eggs, creating the embryos, and then transfer. So versus somebody who has frozen embryos, that would just be purely a transfer package. So it sounds like it could be customized to the individual circumstance.
Yes, but our IVF Success Program, if you're just doing transfers only, not the full package, that would be different. You would just pay the clinic for transfers. We wouldn't have that money back guarantee for that component. The IVF Success Program with the money back guarantee is for people going through IVF from start to finish, the retrieval, creating embryos, and the transfers all together. Okay, I see someone raise their hand. I will just say, please chat your question into the chat box because the speaking is disabled for attendees, just so that we're able to take everyone's questions one at a time. Okay, next question for you, and I'm happy to share my perspective too. How should I select an IVF clinic? What should I think about?
So I think there's multiple factors when you're selecting an IVF clinic. Not only the reputation and outcomes associated with that clinic, which of course is important, also location, because fertility treatments are stressful. It requires a lot of visits to an office. So having a location that's convenient to where you live or work and easy to access is also going to be important. The background of the physicians, and sometimes just and knowing that you feel comfortable with someone, that they're easy to work with, easy to talk to. You want to feel comfortable in the office when you're there. I think those, so a few things.
Yeah, that's great. And I think we're really excited to be partnering with DIRM. We have our own selection process too, just to look at historical data from clinics that we work with. Obviously, as a partner to DIRM, Sunfish as an organization is putting our own financials behind this by guaranteeing this partial refund if you don't get pregnant. So we're very selective with who we work with, and we aim to make the process as easy as possible for you with the logistical guides we provide. So everything from, you know, what to expect during your egg retrieval, how to get started, how to prepare, multivitamins, diet, nutrition. There's so much that happens outside of the clinic that Sunfish can really help you with. And so having a clinic with a partner that has a program like this can really make things a lot easier. All right, another person, a question for me. What are the major differences between the Sunfish Standard and Gold programs? Thank you for this question. It sounds like someone looked at our website, and I'm actually going to chat our website out now to everyone who's attending, just in case you'd like to take a look at that while we're live. Let me give that to everyone. All right, there you go. So yeah, we have a couple different packages. And again, your packages are going to be customized to you and the specific medical protocol that your doctor recommends. So there's packages that have more support, more guidance, and a larger refund amount. That would be the gold package, and then a slightly more streamlined set of support without that larger money back guarantee. That would be the standard package. But again, your packages are going to be customized for you. Once you enroll with us, you would actually have your own unique portal online where you log in. You can see everything that's included, see your payments, and we'd be sending you information throughout. Okay, another question for you, Dr. Neithardt. Who is right for the Sunfish program? Is the Sunfish program right for everyone?
So I think this is mainly designed for people who do not have insurance coverage and need to self-pay. So from the financial aspect, that's who it makes the most sense for. And outside of that, I think anybody going through IVF would be a candidate for the Sunfish program.
I agree. We really aim to make our program so customized so that anyone going through IVF would be able to benefit from this. So thank you for saying that. And yes, we would love to hear from anyone who's considering IVF in the Delaware area or with DIRM. All right, I think I actually got through most of the questions. I'm glad we had such an engaged audience. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
I don't think so. I guess the only thing I would say is, for a lot of people, if you haven't started this journey yet or haven't talked to someone, often that's the biggest hurdle. And I've never had anyone tell me they regret having a discussion or getting information about something. You only regret those things you didn't investigate. And speaking to any of us does not obligate anybody to do anything. And so I think information is power.
Agreed. So let me pull up this last page one more time, just so everyone has our contact info. That's very well said. This is a huge decision. I know it's a really stressful decision, so we're here to offer resources and support. We'd be really honored to be a part of your journey, but it is free to reach out and to receive your custom package and that custom offer. That's also free from us. So we really encourage you, if this is something you're considering. I know things get very booked up around this time of year, so it'd be great if you're considering this to reach out as soon as possible to the DIRM team to get started with your initial consultation, find out if IVF is right for you. And on the Sunfish side, again, reaching out to us as early as possible so we can really be in touch with your medical team, so we can make sure to apply this discount to your package, etc. And for anyone watching this recorded video, we're always looking for ways to help and create something special for you if you need additional financial support. So hopefully, as we share this video and send it out, you'll definitely be encouraged to reach out to both of our organizations too. But I cannot stress enough how excited I am to be working with such an incredible clinic and Dr. Neithardt specifically. So thank you so much for making the time today. Any final words on your end?
No, I just thank everybody for taking time out of a busy day around the holiday season to listen to this. And again, we're very excited about our partnership with Sunfish.
Fantastic. Well, with that, we'll wrap up. You all know where to find us. Thank you, everyone, for attending.
Thank you. Have a great day.